Have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable stop while walking alone down a mountain trail or a quiet street at night? Even though there is nothing visible in front of you and no obstacles in sight, it feels as if a transparent wall has suddenly appeared, making it impossible to move forward. No matter how much you try to go around to the right or dodge to the left, that invisible wall seems to follow you, completely blocking your path. This phenomenon has been told in various parts of Japan since ancient times as the work of a yokai called Nurikabe. Today, let us dive deep into the surprising truth hidden behind this strange occurrence, and the spatial distortions that even modern science is beginning to explore. When many people hear the word Nurikabe, they might imagine a somewhat humorous and charming, flat, gray figure. However, the original form described in folklore is far more mysterious and even frightening. In stories from the Kyushu region, particularly from Onga district in Fukuoka prefecture, Nurikabe is described as a massive wall that suddenly manifests on night roads. No matter how high you reach, you cannot find the top. And no matter how far you walk to the side, it seems to go on forever. It is an overwhelming wall of rejection. I wonder, what would you do if the space you trusted suddenly closed off at a single point? There is one person who is absolutely essential when discussing the phenomenon of Nurikabe. That is Shigeru Mizuki, the famous manga artist and yokai researcher. He spoke of a truly mysterious experience, where he actually encountered Nurikabe in the jungles of Rabaul during World War II. While he was being pursued and desperately trying to escape for his life in an extreme state of exhaustion, an invisible wall suddenly appeared before him. He described it not just as a feeling, but as a tangible, elastic presence that was definitely there. If that wall had not appeared, he might have rushed straight into the enemy camp and lost his life. When we think about it this way, it makes us wonder if Nurikabe appears not just to make people lose their way, but perhaps to protect us from something. Do you believe that supernatural beings can sometimes save us? Now let us unravel this Nurikabe phenomenon from a modern perspective. In the past, people simply dismissed it as the work of a yokai, but in the fields of modern science and psychology, a different interpretation might be possible. For example, it could be a state, similar to a brain glitch that occurs during extreme fatigue or sleep deprivation. There is a theory that when visual information is lacking in the darkness of night, and the brain can no longer correctly perceive the depth of space, it creates a wall that does not exist. However, such scientific explanations alone cannot quite erase a certain sense of unease. This is because there are reports of cases where multiple people experience the same wall at the same time. It feels too real to be dismissed as a mere collective hallucination. What if space itself is temporarily distorted in certain locations? In the world of physics, there is a multi-dimensional interpretation that other dimensions may be overlapping with the three-dimensional space we live in. It is said that the places where Nurikabe appears are often types of boundary lines, known as ley lines or spots with magnetic anomalies. In such places, the phase of space might occasionally shift, causing a location that should be passable to become physically blocked, or the sense of distance to be infinitely stretched. Have you ever felt that the path you are walking might actually be connected to another world? There are very interesting traditional methods for dealing with Nurikabe. It is said that if you are blocked by an invisible wall and cannot move, you should take a stick or a cane and sweep the ground at your feet, as if clearing the path. When you do this, the wall is said to vanish as if it were a lie. Why the feet and not overhead or right in front of the eyes? Deep wisdom for identifying the true nature of the supernatural is hidden here. The act of sweeping at one's feet is an action to reconfirm the boundary of the reality in which you stand. By breaking the focus of the distortion that governs the space, the blending with the other world is resolved. I cannot help but feel that the existence of Nurikabe is constantly questioning us about where we are standing right now. Furthermore, phenomena similar to Nurikabe exist all over the world. For example, there are old European legends about fairy mischief, where stepping on a specific patch of grass causes you to lose your way, or spatial mazes like the stray house. These all suggest how fragile our everyday spatial perception really is. Nurikabe might be a gatekeeper, not just a wall, meant to pull us away from the mundane and invite us into the unknown, or perhaps to make us stop and think. Even in modern urban areas, more people are reporting a heavy feeling in their legs when entering strange dead ends, or back alleys that are not supposed to be on the map. Even in a modern society covered in asphalt, spatial distortions are certainly alive. Let us think about this from a psychological perspective as well. We all hit invisible walls many times in our lives. These can be limits that cannot be overcome, no matter how hard we try, or breaks created by our own hearts. People of the past may have tried to overcome indefinable anxiety by giving shape to such invisible obstacles as yokai. The wisdom that Nurikabe disappears by sweeping at your feet sounds like a message from our ancestors, telling us to look at our own footing when faced with a big problem. Do you feel that there is a wall blocking your life right now? As we head toward the climax, let us look even deeper into the abyss. The essence of the Nurikabe phenomenon is the blockage of information. We understand the world through sight and touch, but Nurikabe destroys the consistency of that information. What if Nurikabe is not just a yokai, but something like a bug occurring in the simulation of this world? Under certain conditions where processing cannot keep up, space might display a simple object as a wall. Even such a cyberpunk hypothesis holds a certain reality that cannot be completely denied today. If the scenery we usually see is like a thin skin, and a completely different structure is hidden behind it, Nurikabe might be a patch to hide that truth. When you encounter Nurikabe, you must not be swallowed by fear. That is because it might be a signal that space is asking you to rest, or perhaps a mercy trying to keep you away from a path you should not take. As Shigeru Mizuki experienced, that wall can sometimes become a guidepost that protects us and connects us to the future. When you hit an invisible wall, it may also be a precursor to a new discovery. The next time you find your feet stopping suddenly on a night road, will it be just the darkness? Or will it be the warm touch of Nurikabe waiting for your hand? How did you like today's story? I hope you felt how the ancient yokai Nurikabe is fascinating, even from a modern viewpoint, and is deeply connected to our hearts. Invisible walls are always right beside us. If you have ever actually felt a mysterious wall or lost your way, please let us know in the comments. Your experience might be the key to solving a new mystery of the yokai. On this channel, we will continue to dive deep into the inexplicable yokai, urban legends, and moving ghost stories scattered around the world. If you found this content interesting or felt a slight chill down your spine, please subscribe to the channel and give us a high rating. Don't forget to set your bell notifications. Well then, I look forward to seeing you in the next mysterious story. Please watch your step when walking on night roads. Goodbye for now.